integrity is the first one. This is pretty simple. It's something that matters in life as it does in lifting weights. What you do when it's just you, nobody else to kind of impress, that's honesty and that's integrity. So in weightlifting, you can tell yourself all you want how good you are, but in the end, the weight's going to tell you how good you really are. And so in the sport of weightlifting, you learn about integrity that way, and in real life, it's a real thing that's going to make a difference in every other part of your life. All right, rule number 2 is to be stubborn and to always be unreasonable. What that means is if you want to do something that's going to take some vision, if you want to be the person who's going to lift more weights than anyone else, if you don't believe that you're going to do it and you let everyone else tell you you're not going to do it, that's being a little bit too reasonable. If you want to be the person that's going to do things people can't imagine you do, you've got to be a little bit unreasonable to do it. And when you're in the gym and you've got your mind set on what you're going to do, no matter how crazy it sounds to other people, it's up to you to believe that you're going to do that, and that's the only way to really accomplish what you want. All right, rule number 3 is passion. To be passionate. I read somewhere that the word passion comes from kind of a Latin word that means to suffer, and so I always kind of think about that. If you're going to be good at something, if you're going to spend your life doing something, it's got to be something you're going to be passionate about. Because if you want to be good at something, right there, it just tells you you're going to suffer. So if you don't like what you want, you're not going to put in the work. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy and get what you want because it's going to be too much. It's not going to be worth it. So the only way for weightlifters to really get good at what they do is passion. Rule number 4 is toughness. I think everyone knows, to lift weights, it's a hard thing to do. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But toughness is mental toughness and physical toughness, emotional toughness. It's not an easy sport to pursue. Sometimes in the toughest situations, if you're hurt, frustrated, injured, that's the situation where out of that challenge, you have the opportunity to really show people who you are, show yourself who you are. And it really, everyone's going to go through tough times. So how you deal with them is what separates the people who succeed and the ones who kind of fade away. All right, next rule is perspective. Keeping things in perspective is important. We're lifting weights, it's a hobby. We're not curing cancer, we're not warriors. What we do is just recreational, it's for fun. It's a passion that we all share, and sometimes it's enough to inspire other people, and that's great. But again, just keeping things in perspective. If you're a guy with a family, how do you balance that out? Having a passion for weightlifting is fantastic, but what makes it better is when you can balance that with everything else in your life. All right, rule number 6 is it's about courage. In weightlifting, there's times when it's mandatory that you have some courage. My grandfather was a Marine, and I know he was one of the people in the rushing the beaches in Normandy in World War II. And I always think about that, like, it's not about being not afraid or being fearless. It's about when you're afraid and what you do at that point. When you're afraid but you go anyway. A lot of times in weightlifting, there'll be things that you're intimidated by, whether it's a dangerous weight or a circumstance with a lot of pressure. And just having the courage to say, I don't know what's going to happen, but the only way this is going to work out well is if I just go, and I just go for it. So courage is huge in the weight room, but more so in the rest of your life too. All right, last rule number 7, last but not least, is don't be skinny. It's just a rule for the weight room, kind of a way of life, a mindset. You just don't want to do that. Nothing good ever came from being skinny. When we're in the weight room, the guys who come in and all they want to do is focus on the wrong things. That's what I mean. Don't be skinny. Don't be the guy who's worried about the guy who's bigger than you. Don't be the guy who's just making excuses. If you're going to take care of business in the weight room or in life, you just got to have big dreams, big aspirations, and that's it. There's no skinny champions.